Mr. Raymond, 72 years old, used to be a firefighter. Throughout his life, he was accustomed to carrying victims over his shoulder, running through smoke and flames, then coming home with solid muscles and legs that never seemed to tire. But everything changed after a slight slip in the bathroom. No broken bones, no serious injuries, yet from that moment on, he became afraid to stand without support. Every morning, he looks at the staircase in his house with hesitation, as if it were a distant mountain peak. But then, in just 3 months, thanks to a few simple exercises done consistently each day for less than 15 minutes, he regained the confidence to climb the stairs once again, without a cane, without anyone to assist him. And the most remarkable part? He said he felt alive again. Not because his legs were stronger, but because his mind no longer filled with worry every time he had to stand up. If you are in your 60s, 70s, or even older, and have ever felt like your body is slowly slipping out of your control, then this video is for you. Today, I will walk you through 10 essential exercises. No gym required, no expensive equipment needed. Just a small space, a bit of patience, and a genuine love for your own body. Each exercise not only helps you become stronger, but also helps you walk with confidence, sit down, stand up, and live each day fully, with steady legs and a lighter heart. And in part number 6, I will share a simple movement you can do right in your living room. It improves circulation, raises your heart rate safely, and is especially effective for those who often feel fatigued after 60. Stay with me until the end of the video, because sometimes what helps us live longer is not something grand, but the small movements we make each day, done with love for ourselves. Are you ready? Let's begin. Number 1. The gentle power of plank, reclaiming core stability after 60. I will never forget the image of my grandfather at 67, often rubbing his lower back every time he bent down to tie his shoes. He never complained of pain, just said, "My back does not listen to me anymore." But one time, after a health checkup, the doctor suggested he try doing planks. Just 20 seconds a day. It sounded simple, but for him, holding a seemingly motionless position was something completely new. At first, he trembled, his elbows ached after just 10 seconds. But he persisted. Day by day, he held it longer, and his back felt less strained. After nearly a month, he no longer needed to hold onto the table to stand up. And the most incredible part was that he felt as though he had reclaimed the central axis of his body. Not just physically, but in the belief that he was still in control of himself. Plank is not just an abdominal exercise. It is like a solid foundation that keeps your entire body upright, balanced, and more stable in movement. After the age of 60, when the deep abdominal muscles begin to weaken, many people assume that a bigger belly is just fat, but in truth, much of it comes from the internal support muscles no longer doing their job. Planking is a gentle and effective way to regain that strength. The best part is, you do not need any equipment at all. Just a mat, a small space, and a bit of patience. Start with the simple version. Keep your knees down if needed, maintain a straight back, gently engage your core, and breathe steadily. Hold for 20 to 30 seconds each day, then gradually increase. You will begin to notice the difference not just in your belly, but in your posture, your walking confidence, or simply the comfort of sitting for long periods without back pain. The most common mistake is letting the lower back sag or trying to hold too long from the start. Give your body time to adapt. There is no need to be better than anyone else, just a little better than the version of yourself from yesterday. Here is the small lesson my grandfather shared. You do not have to run far to call it progress. Sometimes just holding still, steady in both body and mind, is enough to change the path ahead. And now, if you are ready to place your hands on the floor and begin this journey, get ready for the next section, where we will explore a move that may seem overwhelming at first, but can ignite your energy and rejuvenate your circulation when done correctly. The burpee. Number 2. The burpee debate. Should seniors really do it? I still remember that afternoon when Uncle Jim, my grandfather's best friend, came over to visit. He used to be a physical education teacher, always full of energy, even at 69. When I mentioned the burpee exercise, he laughed. "Oh, please, I used to make students do that all the time. Now that I'm older, it's probably not for me anymore. But just a week later, he called back to say he had tried the senior-friendly burpee his physical therapist had recommended. No jumping, no deep push-ups, just a smooth sequence of movements. Standing, bending down, stepping the legs back and returning to a standing position. What surprised him the most was his heart was pumping faster, and he felt much more alert after just 5 minutes of practice. The burpee is famous for its efficiency. It builds strength, burns calories, and boosts cardiovascular health. But the concern many people over 60 have, which is entirely valid, is this exercise too intense? The answer is, it can be if you stick to the original version, but absolutely not if you know how to modify it. Think of it this way. Burpees are not meant to exhaust you. They are simply a sequence of movements, standing up, bending down, placing your hands, extending your legs. These are actions you have done in your everyday life. The key is to perform them slowly, with control, and with proper technique. A gentle burpee for older adults can start like this. 1. Stand upright. 2. Bend forward and place your hands on a chair or sofa. 3. Step one leg back, then the other. 4. Step both feet forward again and stand up gently. No jumping, no forcing yourself to the floor, just a continuous flow of movement. Do this 6 to 8 times a day, and you will feel your heart beat more clearly, your breath deepen, and your body warm up as if spring just arrived. The most common mistake is thinking you need to do it exactly like younger people. But in reality, when we get older, what the body needs is not intensity, but consistency and gentleness. That is exactly what Uncle Jim realized. He said, turns out you do not need to jump high or push hard, just moving steadily makes the heart happy. And that lesson, that every exercise can be turned into a kind, safe version for your body, is something everyone over 60 deserves to know. Now, if you are starting to feel your body wanting to move a little more, let us continue with the next exercise, a classic move packed with strength. One that can help you rebuild stability in your arms, your back, and even restore the confidence to stand tall against gravity. The push-up, or as my grandfather jokingly called it, the head-held high workout. Number 3. Push-ups for seniors, a chest exercise that builds confidence. I still remember the first time my grandfather tried doing push-ups after years of little physical activity. He placed his hands on the floor, took a deep breath, and tried lowering his body. But halfway down, he paused, smiled, and said, "I thought it would be easy. Turns out, my body really is heavy." But instead of giving up, he switched to doing push-ups on his knees. Each day, he did 5 reps. A week later, he could do 8. And after 2 months of persistence, he was able to complete 12 regular push-ups in a row. His eyes lit up as he looked at his arms growing stronger again, as if he had found a piece of his youth. Push-ups are one of the most classic and most effective exercises to build upper body strength. The chest, shoulders, arms, and even the core. But for those over 60, what matters most is not how many you can do, but how you do them and how you feel afterward. Push-ups do more than strengthen muscles. They are a mental exercise. Every time you press your hands to the ground and lift yourself up, you are telling your body, I am still in control. I can still do this. And that belief, over time, transforms into real confidence in everyday actions like opening doors, lifting objects, or simply stretching in the morning. If you are just starting out, I suggest beginning with knee push-ups. The position is the same as a regular push-up, except you bend your legs and keep your knees on the floor while maintaining a straight back. Focus on gently engaging your core and breathing steadily. Do 3 sets of 6 to 10 reps. If that still feels too hard, you can do push-ups against a wall or the edge of a table, still effective with less strain on your wrists and shoulders. A common mistake is rushing, going too deep, or letting your hips sag, which can cause lower back discomfort. In reality, as long as you maintain proper form and move slowly, you are already doing a great job of working your muscles. There is something my grandfather once told me that I will never forget. Push-ups are not just for arms. They are how we practice standing back up, using our own strength. And if your arms are starting to feel warm and your spirit a bit more uplifted, get ready for the next exercise. Gentler, yet incredibly effective for your spine, shoulders, and posture. An exercise where simply hanging can begin to heal you. Let us explore it together. Number 4. The hanging habit, how bar hangs unlock shoulder health. There was a time when I went with my grandfather to the park near our house. As we walked past the pull-up bars, he stopped, looked up at the metal bar above, and said, "I used to be able to hang up there for a full minute without my hands giving out. Now, I'd probably last just 5 seconds." But then he gave it a try. He grabbed the bar, gently lifted himself, and held for exactly 7 seconds. When he came down, he did not boast about being strong. He simply smiled and said, "Somehow, I feel a lot lighter." And it is true. The movement of hanging, or the dead hang, may seem simple, but it offers tremendous benefits, especially for those over 60. It is particularly helpful for people who often wake up with a stiff back or feel shoulder discomfort after carrying heavy things. Dead hangs naturally decompress the spine, reducing pressure on the vertebrae, a precious effect after decades of sitting at work, driving, or bending over to care for loved ones. At the same time, this exercise activates the shoulder muscles, upper back, and core, helping improve posture and restore natural flexibility. If you do not have a pull-up bar at home, I suggest using a sturdy door frame or a doorway bar, as long as it is high enough for you to grab and lift your feet slightly off the ground, or simply stand and hang gently with your toes just touching the floor. To start, try holding for 10 to 15 seconds per set, 2 to 3 times a day. If your hands get tired, you can hang with one hand and switch, or place a chair under you for extra support. The most important thing is to keep your spine aligned, relax your shoulders, and breathe steadily. A common mistake is shrugging your shoulders up or tensing your whole body, which takes away the relaxation that the movement is meant to provide. Remember, hanging is not about bracing yourself. It is about letting go in a controlled way. I still remember my grandfather once saying, "Just a few seconds of hanging, and it feels like a week's worth of tension lifts off my shoulders." That was a small but powerful lesson, that sometimes the best thing you can do for your body is simply to let go a little. And now, if your shoulders feel a bit freer, get ready for the next exercise, one that is deeply connected to everyday life. Standing up, sitting down, lifting yourself. That's right, we are going to explore the squat, your key to strong, steady legs and walking with confidence. Number 5. Mastering the squat, the key to walking stronger at 70 plus. I still remember when my grandmother was 74, and every time she tried to stand up from the sofa, she would gently ask me to give her a hand. She never complained of pain, just said, "My legs are not as strong as they used to be. I cannot push myself up like before." But after a follow-up visit, her physical therapist recommended a simple exercise: chair squats. Each day, all she had to do was sit down and stand back up from the very chair where she watched the news. Repeat 10 times. At first, she laughed and said, "This feels just like standing up and sitting down." But after a month, she no longer needed to grab the armrest. She even felt confident stepping up the front porch without holding on to me anymore. Squats are one of the most important exercises for your legs and lower body, especially after the age of 60. Every time you get up from a chair, climb a step, or simply walk out to the garden, you are using major muscle groups: your thighs, glutes, and core. When these muscles weaken, you do not just lose strength, you also lose balance, which is one of the biggest concerns as we age. The senior-friendly version of squats does not require deep bending or straining. You simply need a sturdy chair. Stand in front of it with your feet shoulder-width apart, take a breath in, then slowly lower yourself until your hips lightly touch the chair, and then stand back up. It is a familiar movement, but when you master it, you are also regaining control over your daily rhythm. Start with 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. If you feel unsure about your footing, you can keep one hand near a table or lightly touch the back of the chair for balance. After a few weeks, as your confidence grows, you can remove the chair and do bodyweight squats freely, or take it further by holding a light weight at your chest. A common mistake is letting your knees go too far past your toes or leaning too far forward, which puts strain on your lower back. Think of it as sitting down onto an invisible chair. Keep your back straight, chest open, and eyes forward. The lesson I learned from my grandmother is this: every time you stand up without needing help is a reminder that you are still independent, and that feeling is priceless. And now, if your legs feel more ready to move with ease, the next exercise is a gift for your heart. A simple movement you can do without leaving your home, one that raises your heart rate, burns calories, and boosts circulation in a gentle way. Let us step into the next routine: marching in place, but done in a way that is perfectly suited for those over 60. Number 6. Marching in place, cardio without the commute. I still remember every morning when Miss Diane, my grandparents' old neighbor, would turn on an old jazz tune and step gently to the rhythm around her living room. On rainy days when she could not go outside, she would say, "No worries, my legs still need to move, even if it is just inside." And so she began marching in place. It seemed so simple at first that I thought it could not possibly have any effect. Until she shared that after a few weeks, her blood pressure had stabilized, she was sleeping better, and most notably, she no longer felt heaviness in her legs by the end of the day. Marching in place is a light cardio exercise, yet it is incredibly effective, especially for older adults. All you need to do is stand in place, lift your knees one at a time, and swing your arms in rhythm. In doing so, you are engaging your whole body, your heart rate increases, blood circulation improves, and the muscles in your legs are clearly activated. The biggest advantage? You do not need to go outside, no equipment is required, and you do not even need special athletic shoes. Just a small space in your living room or in front of the TV is enough. This exercise is ideal for those with a steady home routine or anyone who cannot walk far due to weather or environment. You can start with 3 sets, each lasting 30 to 60 seconds. Gently lifting your knees and swinging your arms. If balancing is a challenge, stand near a chair or table for support. And if you feel comfortable, play some soft music, just like Ms. Diane used to make movement feel more joyful. Here's a helpful tip. Count your steps or your breaths while marching to help maintain rhythm and sharpen your memory, a key benefit for older adults. A common mistake is starting too fast, which can lead to fatigue or shortness of breath. But in truth, the goal of this exercise is not speed. It is steady rhythm and good control. So your heart gets a healthy workout and your body feels gently warmed up, not worn out. Miss Diane's lesson was this: even if your feet do not leave the house, your heart can still travel far, as long as you keep it moving every day. And now, with your heart gently awakened, let us move into another special practice, one that not only improves flexibility, but also soothes the mind, eases muscle tension, and supports recovery after active days. Yoga, a practice not just for the flexible, but a precious gift for anyone seeking balance once again. Number 7. Yoga for real men. Flexibility is strength too. I still remember the first time my grandfather tried doing yoga with my little cousin in the living room. He looked at the mat on the floor and chuckled, "Yoga's for flexible folks. I'm stiff as a board." But then she said, "Grandpa, all you need to do is breathe and reach for the sky." And he gave it a try. At first, it was just the mountain pose, standing tall, arms stretched overhead, taking a deep breath. But after just a few minutes, he exclaimed, "Why do my shoulders suddenly feel so much lighter?" Many people think yoga is all about complex, bendy poses only for women or the young. But in reality, yoga, especially for those over 60, is an incredibly effective way to increase flexibility, improve circulation, aid muscle recovery, and reduce mental stress. Our bodies, when not stretched regularly, begin to tighten. That is why so many older adults feel stiff when they wake up, or experience neck and back pain after sitting for a while. That is exactly where yoga shines. You do not need to do difficult poses. Just start with 3 to 4 basic ones. Mountain pose. Stand tall, stretch your arms upward, and breathe steadily. Great for opening the chest and improving balance. Cat-cow. On hands and knees, gently arch and round your back. Helps keep the spine flexible. Sit back and stretch your arms forward. Relaxes the lower back and shoulders. Warrior eye. Step 1 foot forward, arms raised, builds leg strength and promotes stability. You only need 5 to 10 minutes each morning or after light activity, paired with slow, deep breathing, to start noticing a real difference. For example, Mr. Larry, 71 years old and my grandfather's chess buddy, started following a senior yoga video on TV. After 3 weeks, he shared that his chronic back pain had almost disappeared. And more importantly, he was sleeping better and no longer tossing and turning at night. A common mistake is comparing yourself to others or pushing too hard to bend more. But truly, everyone has their own limits, and yoga teaches us to honor our bodies at every stage of life. One time, my grandfather told me, yoga did not make me more flexible, but it taught me that sometimes real strength comes from learning how to let go. And that is one of the most beautiful lessons I have ever heard. Now that your body feels more relaxed and open, it is time to bring together all that flexibility, strength, and balance into one complete movement. Lunges, a powerful exercise that not only builds strong legs, but helps you step forward with confidence each day. Let us keep going. Number 8, lunges for longevity, mastering everyday movements. One afternoon, my grandfather went out back to water the vegetable garden, just like he always did. But that time, when he stepped down the porch stairs, he misstepped slightly. He did not fall, but he froze for a few seconds, then slowly walked back inside, looking a bit concerned. "I think my front leg is not holding my balance like it used to," he said quietly. That moment marked the beginning of his journey with a new exercise designed to improve each and every step. At first glance, it looked simple. Step 1 foot forward, lower the body, then rise back up. But once he started practicing, he realized that this move demands a combination of strength, balance, and body control. Lunges strengthen the quads, hamstrings, glutes, and core, all the key muscles involved in walking, climbing stairs, and maintaining balance in daily life. For those over 60, maintaining stability with each step is truly the key to preventing falls and preserving long-term independence. You do not need to lunge deeply or quickly. Start with a simple version. Stand upright with your hands on your hips or lightly holding the back of a chair for support. Step 1 foot forward, about 2 to 3 foot lengths. Slowly lower your body, making sure your front knee does not go past your toes, and your back knee drops close to the floor without touching it. Push back to the starting position, then switch legs. Just 3 sets of 8 to 8 reps per leg is enough to gradually strengthen your lower body. If it feels difficult, you can hold onto a chair or stay near a wall for safety. Once you are more confident, try walking lunges, stepping forward into each lunge like a more advanced walking routine. For example, Mr. Henry, my grandfather's golf buddy, is 70 this year and can still climb 3 flights of stairs at the library without tiring. He said, "Just 10 minutes of lunges every morning, and I have kept my legs strong for the past 5 years." A common mistake is stepping too short or too far, which shifts your center of gravity and can strain the knees. Remember this: a moderate step, straight back, and eyes forward. That is the formula for a safe and effective lunge. I remember my grandfather once said, "This exercise makes me feel like every step I take has meaning. It is not just about where I am going, but about knowing I still have the strength to move forward." And maybe at any age, that lesson is always valuable. Now that your steps are stronger, it is time to bring everything you have learned: core stability, spinal mobility, a healthy heart, and solid legs into a clear, easy-to-remember weekly routine that helps you stay consistent without feeling overwhelmed. Let us build that plan together in the next section. Number 9, gentle resistance: why light dumbbells still matter. I still remember the image of my grandmother every morning, holding 2 cans of beans in her hands, stepping out onto the porch and gently lifting her arms while listening to the radio. Back then I asked, "Grandma, is that really enough to build strength?" She smiled and said, "I do not need to be a bodybuilder. I just need enough strength to open a jar of jam and carry my groceries." And she was absolutely right. Even light weights, just 2 to 5 pounds, can make a big difference for people over 60, especially women. As we age, muscle mass naturally decreases, and bones tend to lose density, leading to a higher risk of osteoporosis, poor balance, and fatigue from basic tasks around the house. But with just a bit of gentle resistance each day, you can help your body stimulate muscle growth, protect bone health, and maintain joint mobility. You can start with very simple exercises. Bicep curl. Bend your arms up toward your shoulders, builds arm strength. Overhead press. Push your arms up above your head, strengthens the shoulders. Lateral raise. Lift your arms out to the sides, improves shoulder and upper back stability. For each movement, aim for 2 to 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps using light dumbbells or even canned goods or small water bottles. What matters most is to maintain proper posture, breathe evenly, and move slowly and mindfully. Let me share an example of Miss Ruth. She is 76 years old and used to live next door to my grandmother. She once struggled so much that she could not lift a full pot of water. But after being guided through a series of lightweight exercises using 3-pound dumbbells for 3 months, she was able to carry her grocery bags up the porch steps without needing help. And more importantly, she said, "I feel confident again, like I am living on my own terms, not relying on anyone else." A common mistake is believing that strength training only works if the weights are heavy. But at this stage in life, the goal is maintenance, not pushing limits. Keep it light, keep it consistent, and you will feel your strength returning, bit by bit. My grandfather once told me, "I do not need to lift 50 pounds. As long as my arms are strong enough to hold you without shaking, I know I am still strong." And to me, that is the most beautiful definition of strength. Now that your arms are warmed up and your body has been gently activated with each movement, the last thing I want to share is how to turn all these exercises into a simple weekly plan, so you never have to worry about what to do today or whether to rest tomorrow. Let us create a light, effective, and easy-to-follow 7-day routine in the final section. Number 10. Building a 7-day plan, turning movement into a habit. I remember my grandfather once said, "The hardest part is not exercising, it is knowing what to do on which day." And he was right. There are so many exercises, but without a clear plan, it is easy to give up, because every morning you wake up and think, "What should I do today?" That is why a simple 7-day workout schedule, designed specifically for people over 60, is the final gift I want to share with you in this video. It is not strict, not hard to follow, but structured enough to form a habit. And as Grandpa used to say, a good habit will take you farther than short-term willpower ever could. Gentle and effective 7-day workout plan suggestion. Monday, core and posture. Plank, 3 sets. Dead hang or shoulder stretch, 2 sets, 15 seconds each. Tuesday, cardio and energy burn. Marching in place, 3 sets of 45 seconds. Gentle burpees, 2 sets of 6 reps. Wednesday, recovery and flexibility. Basic yoga, sun salutation or cat-cow, 10 minutes. Deep breathing for 5 minutes before bed. Thursday, upper body strength, knee push-ups, 3 sets. Light dumbbells, bicep curls, overhead press, 2 sets. Friday, balance and strong legs. Chair squats, 3 sets of 10. Lunges on each side, 2 sets of 6 per leg. Saturday, freestyle and fun. Go for a walk, exercise with a friend, or repeat your favorite workout from the week. Sunday, rest and reflect. Write a few lines. How did my body feel today? Gentle stretching if it feels good. One small lesson my grandfather taught me. Your body does not need to look like anyone else's. If you try just a little more each day, your body will already be thankful. And if you have made it this far with me, if you listened, imagined, or even tried a few moves while watching this video, then let me offer a heartfelt thank you. Thank you for choosing to take care of yourself today. You do not need to be young again, and you do not need to be perfect. You just need to be stronger than you were yesterday, and that is enough to live joyfully, freely, and on your own terms. Thank you, truly thank you, for taking this time for yourself today. The very fact that you stayed until the end of this video is already a wonderful sign that you are choosing to care for your body, to listen to yourself, and to cherish your health as a precious gift. You do not need to become young again. You just need to be healthy enough to live each day fully, to keep walking with confidence, to hug your grandchild tightly, to cook a meal filled with love, or simply to water your garden every morning with your own hands. If there was a particular exercise in today's video that felt right for you, Feel free to comment the number of that exercise below. Whether it is number 1 for plank, number 5 for squats, or number 9 for light weights. That small action might just inspire someone else in our community to start moving too. And if you know someone, a loved one, a friend, a neighbor, who could use a gentle beginning like this, please share this video so they can join you on the journey toward better health. Sending you a warm hug and a heartfelt goodbye. See you again whenever you are ready for the next step on this beautiful path.